If they're here, you can do the variation, but it's a bit harder, especially if they're good at getting close and getting under you. So generally when you Toreando, you want to scoop, but you don't want to be really obvious and just lean forward too easily, because they're going to go for your cross collar right away and they can choke you or collar drag you, all sorts of stuff. So you want to kind of do it quickly, and you want to do it without giving away too much what you're going to do. So you make them think maybe you're going to fight for a collar more, but then you just drop down and kind of scoop, so it's like one motion. So you want them to slide onto their back. The standard version we did was kind of like you basically there's a seam there because the hands are, so you go right in the middle and you go elbows in and leaning forward. So you want this like winking of the hip to happen. If it doesn't, the person can still use their legs too actively, and when they extend, you see that he can follow me with an angle. So we talked about how you got it. When you lean, you want to be here. So you want that hip, the tailbone to come up. Then you move your feet, and then when they push back against you, you use it to extend, and you drop down here. So we want shoulder kind of under the ribs, and either we get really close right away and we're collecting the hips here, or if he starts to turn away from me, I can go under the arm, and we drive heavy onto the back, and we start kicking it back that way. Okay? The addition of this variant, there's not really a specific name that I know, but it's an inside pant grip instead, and it's a hip grip. So you can either just palm the hip, which is what I usually do because you kind of want to lean on it. So you want your base on that hand to be wide. And this one you want to get a good grip on the inside of the knee so that you can swing the hip through like a hinge. So often, even if he's sitting, I can do this one because all I need is a slight angle, and I need here. As long as I can drive him back, I can use this version. Version works very well. Very high percentage. But you have to be able to get into the right position, and you don't want to lean in again and give them the cross grip before you have your grips. If I'm here, I'm not that worried about if he gets a cross grip, because by the time he sets something up, I'm going to be all the way through. The important thing is weight placement. So I want to kind of come in at an angle, whereas the other version I was very square, stack, move his legs. This one I'm coming in slightly angled. I don't need a full 45, but I want to be able to block this hip with this elbow, and this one I want to be able to control this leg. So that even if he concedes guard and starts trying to throw his legs over, I want to be able to move my legs back and load up on him, and then when he tries to use his hips, push him through. And the distance automatically closes. Then I'll circle in under his back, and either pin or try and shrug the arm and start to attack the back. The thing that can stop you for this one can be somebody who has a very flexible hip on the right side. And if they have a short leg, as long as it's flexible, it can still be really obstructive. So we go here, and you push the person back. Whether he has a grip or not, I'm attached to his hip. So if he has a flexible hip and I'm trying to hinge it open, and he does this, that can give me a problem with it. If that's all he has, I'll probably still pass, but I'm going to need to address this. But if he gets his grip on it and it becomes a full lasso, then I'm going to need to pass differently. Because just powering through here is not going to work. Because he can actually pull his hips under me, just pull yourself in like this, and regard very easily. So one thing you have to do to make sure that that works is when you put your palm on the hip, you need to be able to move your elbow this way. So you're not trying to muscle it like this, you're keeping the palm connected to the hip. You can grab the material if you want, and you're trying to flare out a little bit so that it opens this hip and it blocks it. So I'm here, and even if this is trying to come over, I should ideally be able to get low. I was talking about when I was training in Japan, a lot of the shorter leg guys with really good flexibility and high level guards. This was actually harder to get. For me, this was a harder pass, even though it's probably my number one pass I use here. Not just at this dojo, but in Canada. When I was here, it works almost all the time. With a really flexible person, even if you get almost all the way, this one can keep coming, even if it doesn't last. So even if it just steps on your shoulder, you go to go through, sometimes it can block you. So in dealing with that, you know, sometimes depending on the person, the answer is to switch, go double unders at times. But sometimes you just have to make sure you have it really in a good position. So in here, if he goes to try and sit up and start getting grips in here, this is the exact position I want. Now, I know that timing-wise, I'm gonna get that pass. My shoulder stays heavy and then weight is split between my knee on this leg and my shoulder. I'm not gonna drop down to a neutral hip right away because then you can escape. So I want to weigh heavy, and I'm going to keep this head near his hip. This one's going to circle in, and then make sure that I can get a grip here. Then I can do kind of like a shrug this way and circle, and then I'm going to start pressing my chest to the back and force him back. It's going to be a pretty easy back.